As you know, I give a shout out to a subscriber in every video, but first we have to get through to the story before I can tell you who it is. So sit tight and don't go nowhere. So a top staff at Murtala Muhammed Airport was found dead days after he went missing. His wife reported him missing on October 31st, and then he was found dead on November 4th. He was known as Engineer Musa. It doesn't make sense that an airport staff would go missing. What went wrong? Engineer Musa, like he's popularly known, left home on October 31st for his farm in Ogun State. But then he never came home, and his wife alerted his nephew, Nuhu Momo, to let him know that, hey, your uncle is not here, we've been looking for him. And as it would turn out, Nuhu was, he wasn't really worried. He felt like maybe something was holding back his uncle in Ogun State where he went to. But then as days went by, it became a reality that this man was missing. So his nephew, Nuhu Momo, said that they panicked when his cell phones were switched off and he didn't come home, so they began looking for him and they made a formal report at the police station. Then he said that after a series of search in Lagos State, his car was found along Abeokuta Road. His nephew also said that he noticed that one part of the car was inside the gutter while the other part was on the main road. Now this tells you that there must have been something went wrong. Perhaps he was being chased, because if the side of the car was on the gutter, it tells me two things, and now this is just my opinion. It seems like he was running away from something or running towards something, and probably it was dark and he couldn't see the road clearly, and he ran into the gutter. And of course, when a car gets into a gutter, you can't get out, you can't move anymore. So maybe that's how they got him. Whomever that was looking for him, that wanted him dead, took him from there. Or he was probably sleepy or drunk and then veered into the gutter, and he couldn't get out and probably staggered away. We don't know. So eyewitnesses in the area said that they saw a man driving very fast, and then he fell into the gutter. The car ran into the gutter, and that was it. And they saw him stand up and stagger somewhere into the bushes. But then this eyewitness account, how did they know that he's actually the one? Because they said that they saw him at night. Was he actually the one driving the car? They saw what happened. They were minding their business in the corner when they had a loud bang. It seemed like that was when the car hit the gutter. And then they waited to see what's going on or who's going to come out of the car. But then they quickly just dismissed it, because it seemed like a normal occurrence. Things go off there, random things happen in the area, so it didn't really matter to them. But it was just when his nephew began looking for him and probably had his photographs that they tried to piece together, like, yes, we remember seeing this car, we remember hearing a loud bang, but we just don't know what happened. How come no one knew what happened? Where did this man go to? First his car ran into the gutter, and the next thing he was gone. I keep saying it, people don't just go missing. Something or someone took them. How come a man who left his home to his farm out of town vanished? Here's another important fact here. His nephew, Nuhu, said that the police informed him that they found a body in the canal, and they wanted him to come down to identify it. So when he got there, he had to pay some area boys so that they can go scoop out the body from the canal for him to properly identify him. And when they brought the body out, he noticed that, yes, this is actually his uncle. But then he noticed there was a nail, like a nail drilled into his head, and then there were stab wounds on his belly. This does not sound like a robbery. But this man went missing. It looked like first of all, they chased him. They've been watching him for a while, and they knew that he was going to go to out of town to check on his farm. And then they followed him, and perhaps they saw him driving, tried to cut him off, and maybe he tried to run away from them, and eventually he bumped into the gutter, and they saw him. You know, they got to him. Maybe he couldn't move or whatever. They picked him up, because if there are scratches on his belly area, could it be that this was a wound inflicted during the accident, or was it a wound inflicted by those who kidnapped him? Regardless, they took him away from there, and they took him somewhere that no one knows. That's why his family couldn't reach him. But then, after they killed him, they dumped his body. I don't know if they threw his body in the canal, or that they threw his body elsewhere and the canal water carried him out to where he was found. It's really hard to say, but from the picture you're looking at right now, it looked like his body was already decomposing. I mean, if it's sitting in a canal, it means that he was sitting in water, and that could have, caused his body to turn pale like you're looking at. So I'm still back to what happened to this man. I keep asking, what went wrong? Let's go back to his workplace. They said he used to work at the airport. Did he get involved in something he was not supposed to? I mean, let's face it, we are living in a very terrible world. It's possible that he saw something, or he knew something, or he was going to report something that he shouldn't have seen. Things happen at the airport all the time. Maybe people bringing in stuff they're not supposed to bring in. Maybe someone about to do something that they're not supposed to. And you know, if for someone who was described as a very upright man, who's disciplined, like to do his job, follow his routine, perhaps he was not, maybe he was standing in the way of his colleagues. Now, I'm not accusing anyone, but when things like this happen, everyone is pretty much a suspect until the police rule them out. So his nephew said that his uncle did not die a natural death, that he had some work-related issues, but he didn't go into details on what these issues are. But I am thinking that perhaps he must have gotten involved with people he was not supposed to, or maybe he saw something he was not supposed to, or maybe he threatened some people that he wasn't supposed to, or maybe he was just getting involved in things that he shouldn't have. Clearly, if he's an airport staff, then if his job description states that he needs to report anything suspicious, then that's him doing his job. But sometimes in a place like that where a lot of illegal activities also happen, yes, it's an airport, but hey, an airport is people come in and go with all kinds of stuff. Good people, bad people, we don't know. So you really don't want to get involved in, that kind of situation. And I don't know if this is what happened to him, but his nephew hinting this kind of gives me an idea that this is what happened. Or could it be that it was just a coincidence? But then if it's a coincidence, the way he was killed sounded personal. It seemed like the person just wanted him gone. Like, if he got caught up with armed robbers on the road, they would have just shot him right there. If it was just a kidnap case, his wife would have received a phone call. Someone would have been contacted. Because these days, when kidnappers kidnap people, they want money. Sometimes they would let the victim go, but they would let the victim's family know, hey, we have your relative and we need such amount of money. But no one ever contacted his wife. No one ever asked for a ransom. So we have to rule out kidnap from this issue and focus on the part that this man was targeted. Could it be that he was having issues outside of work also? It's possible. Maybe he had land issues. He has a farm in Ogun State and he lives in Lagos. What happened? Did he get there and get into trouble? Did he get to Ogun State and then run into trouble with people? Is there something that happened? Maybe his wife didn't know. Has he been having issues with people that he purchased the land from, where his farm is at? Is there a partner? Could there be someone who just have been angry at this man? We don't know. And that's why we keep asking questions. What happened? And we're hoping that the Nigerian police are going to do something about it, because then there are so many cases that have gone unsolved. I understand that they don't have a lot of forensic equipment to solve these cases. And looking at this picture on how the body was scooped up, It didn't look like these guys were even wearing gloves. They just had to do what, I understand they were trying to be helpful, but then messing up the crime scene and all, it doesn't lead us anywhere. We never get to find out what happened. So who killed Engineer Musa and why? And if you look at the way he was killed, it looked very personal. It looked like the person really wanted him gone, and it was just a very nasty way to get rid of someone. The person sent a message that he was nothing. I mean, killing someone and dumping them in the canal where all sorts of dirty water flows through, that does not look like the person actually cared. Could it be that he picked up someone on his way to the farm? It's possible. It's possible that he picked up someone, gave someone a ride who lured him to his death, or maybe someone he knew, a colleague he wanted to show off somewhere, someone he wanted to give a ride to, a hitchhiker. It could be anyone, but killing him in such a disgusting manner, I mean, it's not like there's any better way to kill someone, but it's just the way his body was treated, the way he was treated. It seemed like he was tortured with something being drilled on his head, all the cuts on his body. It looked like they didn't just want to get rid of him. They wanted him to feel pain, so much pain, before they discarded him like nothing. And like I said, I wouldn't rule out his place of work just yet. If the police really need to, investigate this matter, if they're really working towards investigating and bringing the suspects to book, I think they need to start from his place of work. Check out his family as well. Ask them questions. This man could have been there must have been something always comes up. Someone always sees something. People don't just go missing, like I always say. Something or someone took them. And when that happens, and if they turn dead, we have to go back to the drawing board. Maybe the police can check his cell phones, check his phone, check out who he spoke to the last time. Did he call anyone? Did anyone call him? Did he send a text message to anyone? Was there an appointment that was set on that day? Did he have an argument? Check his social media. Sometimes the police always omit checking the social media accounts of people. But this is usually one of the best places to check. You never can tell. There might have been an argument on the DM. There might have been an argument on the timeline. Check his browser history. What was he looking at? Check his work report. Ask his colleagues at work. Did anyone see something? Did anyone ever hear him arguing with someone? I mean, all these things are all important facts in identifying what led to his death. I hope the police will do the needful so that his family can have some closure. So there haven't been any official statement from the Federal Airport Authority, which is his employer. So far, we do not know. We don't have any information. And the last time any information about this incident was published, they said that the body was taken for autopsy. And since he's Muslim, he was supposed to be buried quickly, but then they left the body so that the police can, investigate what happened before they take him for funeral. But it's just so weird. How does a man leave his house in the morning and go missing, and the next thing he turns up dead, thrown away like a piece of trash? Anyway, I promise to give a shout out to one of my subscribers every week or in every video, and today's shout out goes to Angie Dorothy. I see you, lady, and I appreciate your support. If you're following me on Twitter at general_Oluchi, please let me know so I can follow you back. All right. To those just joining us, I tell strange, dark, and mysterious stories. Please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching, and have yourself a good day.